Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky15, where I'll be giving you my EachWay Lucky15 predictions for tomorrow's horse race in action. And it's kind of a special vlog, this one. I don't often make videos on a Sunday, unfortunately, but I've actually had the time this weekend to make one, and what a day it will be tomorrow. We're going to be focusing all our races tomorrow at Chantily for the big meeting, the big arc meeting, featuring the big races throughout the afternoon, and I'll be giving you my EachWay Lucky15 predictions on what I think will run well during those races. I'll just reflect briefly on how today's selections ran. Well, it was pretty appalling really on our EachWay Lucky15. On the loaded lot, however, it actually went not too badly in the end. We had two winners in the end with Clemmy, Alexander M, and even the horse that we gave Market Raisin, Master D, put in an okay performance finish each way for us at 10 to 1, which we got at an earlier price. So on that side of things, it wasn't too bad, but on our EachWay Lucky15, it wasn't very good really. Both our Haydock runners never really featured, and then in the Cambridgeshire we went for Quazim, which actually finished, I know, 21st out of 34, and I know that doesn't really look like a great prediction there, but if you actually look at the final result in the end, I think it was a 50 to 1 that won the race, then it was a 100 to 1 that came second, and then a 50 to 1 that came third. So if you did that tri-cast, you would have ended up with £90,000 today. I would like to know if anyone out there in the world ever did that tri-cast. If so, they're a genius and should become a full-time professional gambler. But yeah, it was obviously, it's always a wide open race with about 34 runners, I think there were in it in the end. It's always going to be really hard to predict. A lot of bookmakers obviously were paying the 8 places, and if you actually look at the top 8, really, actually, a lot of the market favourites didn't really even feature in that. There were a lot of long odds horses, but in a race like this, it was kind of always going to be like that. So that's how the Cambridgeshire went for us today. Anyway, enough of dwelling on our woes today. I'm going to be giving you my EachWay Lucky15 predictions, as promised, at Chantilly tomorrow. And we're actually going to kick off with the big race tomorrow. It's kind of like the biggest race of the year, really, and what a renewal we've got. We've got lots of top quality horses here. We've got Enable, we've got Ulysses, we've got Order of St. George, we've got Winter. Even the Japanese are bringing over a couple of raiders for this race. They really like their racing over there in Japan, but unfortunately it doesn't really seem to like they're going to provide a strong challenge in the race. And for me, I'm going for the market favourite really, and I think this horse has got a great chance of winning tomorrow, and I'm going for Enable. I know it's not original. We all know that Enable really is trained by John Gosden, and Frankie Dettori be taking the ride for this horse. He's got a very good relationship with this horse, winning all the big races this season. This horse has won the English Oaks at Epsom, it's won the Irish Oaks, it won the Yorkshire Oaks, and it also won the King George at Ascot in probably the most impressive performance this season really, and that was actually on softest conditions, which the conditions will be tomorrow. She's proven it on all forms of ground and is definitely the one to beat tomorrow, and I've actually managed to find her at a price of 11 to 10, which actually isn't bad considering it was a little bit shorter than that and was definitely odds on. Maybe there's just been a little bit of doubt with people probably questioning Enable and having a bet elsewhere and having a few little nibbles at some of the outside contenders. Away from Enable, if I did have to pick one or two horses that really could challenge her tomorrow, I thought Ulysses had a good chance. He's obviously come on this season very well. He won the Eclipse, he came second to Enable in the King George at Ascot, and then he ran a good race at York in the big race there. So he's definitely improved this season, and he's been a very good horse this season, Ulysses. The other horse that I thought that might do well is Order of St. George for the O'Brien team. I thought that with the conditions being suit tomorrow, if they continue to be rain around, I thought Order of St. George would have a very good shout, considering he absolutely raunched home in Ireland recently in the Irish St. Leger. It was a very good performance that day by 9 lengths. He should relish the conditions tomorrow, and I thought he could maybe be the danger tomorrow against Enable, but I definitely think, as a lot of people out there agree with me, that Enable is the one to beat tomorrow. If you've got any other difference of opinions on the particularly big race tomorrow, the Arc, let us know in the comments box below. I'd be fascinated to see what you guys would go for. But like I said, really Enable brings in the best form in the race, and it'd be interesting to see how it goes tomorrow. And Frankie Dettori is going for a jockey record in that race. I think he's going for a 5-timer tomorrow, meaning he's won the race the most times out of any jockey in the history of the race. And also as well, I think another thing to say about Enable, Frankie Dettori has obviously been in the game now for donkey's years really. And to be fair, he knows that Enable is one of the best horses he's ever ridden, and he's got a really good special bond with the horse. So I thought Enable tomorrow will win the race there. We then go over to another good race at Chantily, and we're going to be going to the 350, and a horse that's actually going to be my nap for tomorrow, and it's actually taken my eye with some good form figures. It's called Lacazar, which is currently 6-1 with bookmakers at the moment. Now this is a German rider, and obviously I don't know too much about the trainer, P. Schneinigen and Andreas Stark, or Andresia Stark tomorrow. I think that's what the jockey's called. I'm not familiar with either of the names, but actually looking at the form of this horse, it's actually got some good pieces of form. It won the German Oaks last time at Dusseldorf, and it's been riding really well this season. He'll definitely handle the conditions with the easiness of the conditions and the going. He's won on heavy and soft ground, and I thought tomorrow this horse had a very good chance at 6-1 each way in the race. I thought also as well, if you look at some of the form in that races that it's been and raced in, it's actually beaten a few of the horses that are running in this race tomorrow. So I thought it had a very good chance tomorrow and could definitely be the one that's been overlooked in the race. Probably maybe because of the German connections. Maybe German racing isn't normally given as high quality praise as some of the English and the Irish and the French. So it'd be interesting to see how that horse gets on tomorrow, and that's why I've napped it tomorrow, because I think it's not a bad each way price there. So that's going to be our second selection at Chantily tomorrow. We then go over to the sprint race tomorrow in the 4:35 at Chantily, and again it's not original selection here, but we're going for Marsha. Going to be ridden tomorrow by Luke Morris and Sir Mark Prescott, the usual combination for this horse. Again, this horse has had a very strong season. It's been running really well. I think last time it ran was when it beat Lady Aurelia at York in a very good performance that day. But it's not going to be the same conditions it ran at last time. But it tends to handle a little bit of cut in the ground. It's quite a versatile horse, I think, when it comes to the ground. And I thought at 2-1, yeah, it's probably the most likeliest winner of this race tomorrow. It's also a course and distance winner, where it won this race last year. And I thought with the standout piece of form, it's even going to be receiving a little bit of weight from Batash. I thought this horse had a very good chance of following up tomorrow to make it the second time it's won this race. So that's going to be our third selection there, Marsha. We then go over to the last of our selections tomorrow in the 5:15 at Chantily. We're going for a horse called Karar, and trained by a trainer called F.H. Grafford, and it's going to be ridden tomorrow by Pierre-Charles Baudot. I hope I pronounced his last name right. I'm not very good with French jockeys' pronunciations, but I thought this horse anyway had another good chance in the race tomorrow. He's currently around 4-1 with bookmakers at the moment. He was a course and distance winner last time out in similar conditions. He doesn't mind a bit of cut in the ground. He's got a good draw tomorrow, being close to the inside. I think he's in possibly stall 2 or 3, so that should bode him well. And also his normal tactics as well, front running, should definitely help if he gets a good start. So I thought he had a very strong chance in that race tomorrow, and he's going to be my last selection there at Chantily. Anyway, that's what I'm going for tomorrow at Chantily. Hopefully it's just as exciting as it looks on paper, and hopefully we have some very good close races which we're on the winning end of. Also as well, I will upload I load a lot tomorrow. There's some horses on Twitter that we think might run well, and if you don't follow us there already, go and check us out over there. The same name, Lucky15, where I'll be giving you a few interesting selections that might be worth a punt in the afternoon. So that's that. So yeah, please subscribe if you haven't done so already to our YouTube channel here at Lucky15 for more daily horse racing predictions. Also as well, like I said, you can check us out on Twitter. Also as well, gamble responsibly, and hopefully we can have a fun day tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.